Okay, 2227, good luck. We've not played before, no head-to-head score there. Only 64 games, my opponent. That's a very high rating, actually, for only 64 games, so opponent could end up being a bit underrated here. We'll find out. I've only took with a queen there just to get out of the more bog standard theory relatively early. Taking with the pawn is the more normal move. Let's just develop and try and castle. We've got to slow the pace down because it is rapid. It's not bullet or blitz. Oh, 7,000 games of bullet for my opponent and 4,000 of blitz. What do I want to do here? Is knight up a move to challenge this knight? I guess you've got to move like pawn forward. I want to develop the knight, but I don't want to trap my queen. How do I want to do it? I'm still going to bring the knight up. I think I can just come across and round the angles if I need to. Okay, so he's developed the bishop, so maybe I can go this way, but you can get into a little bit of difficulty with all these pieces facing that area. So I think I am going to go this way and then maybe come back and try and bring the rook across. Bishop probably round the angles, I'm not sure. Depends what my opponent does. Okay, it does indeed attack the queen, so I think I want to go here just to challenge this square. Take, take, take. Feels like it's just a bad idea. It doesn't feel like I'm gaining anything there. Knight across does challenge a pawn now, so bishop back, bishop back. We can trade the dangerous bishop, so that seems logical. So I might play that. Let's drop back and just trade the bishop maybe. Okay, so now I assume I want the rook across. At some point we want to both push a pawn up. Not just depends which one, but obviously we've both got the dark squared bishop. Got to take that into account. Maybe my rook might have actually been better in the corner just to chuck a pawn forward. But if I do that, it could... I'm not sure it could be good. Maybe something like this. Oh, now I've got knight across again to hit that pawn and the bishop, and if you push, I take a pawn here. So you might have to spend a move guarding this pawn. I'm going to do that just to hit the bishop. We potentially can jump forward as well, develop the other knight, but I'm looking at developing my pawns here just to challenge this structure. Oh, opponent's left the game. Opponent has disconnected and reconnected there. Obviously, I wasn't quick enough to see on time if they were actually connected to the site at the same time or not. Okay. Let's hope that's okay and legit. Okay, so if we go here, I'm going to do it. I want to try and break this pawn chain. I could trade the knight for the bishop, and then at least we've got a change in the piece structure of the game. It doesn't say where my opponent is actually from there. Yeah, I need to just keep an eye on that if that green light disappears again. Okay, it does push forward. So is it worth taking there? Then it's a bit easier to just push a pawn up, get this knight round. I like the idea of still this pawn push though. I'm going to do it. I'm going to still push the pawn. I've still got a potential option to trade the knight for the bishop. Just click anywhere and it clears any markings that you've got on the screen. Get the cursor off the board so there's no accidental slips. Okay, he does take. So I'm going to take back. Now, played knight forward, so I've still got a potential option to take here. I think I should. I'm going to get rid of that bishop now. Now, if I take, my opponent gets a tempo attacking the queen. Do I have a useful square for the queen? Oh, he's gone for a very attacking setup. Okay. So one potential option is to push forward, but the pawn's likely to come under a good attack. If I play a knight here, knight takes, bishop takes, takes, takes. We've got split pawns, so I wouldn't mind that. So knight here. I like the idea of that, actually. I'm going to do that. I'm going to develop my knight, charge this knight. If takes, I'll take back with the bishop, but I'm expecting the rook to come across at some point. Yeah, it does take, so we take back. Yeah, it does push the pawn. So, can we push here as well? If you do this, we can maybe go forward. I'm looking at just simply pawn up here. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I don't want to burn all the clock. I'm getting a bit down on time. If takes, I just take back. If takes, I can take back, or I can look to push the pawn first, potentially. Just depends what my opponent does. Again, just click anywhere to get rid of the markings. But at some point, you can imagine a scenario where the rook might sack for a bishop, for instance, so could become a little bit of an issue. Now, I'm going to play rook across now, threatening to potentially take, and that pawn can't take back. Take, you could take with this one, of course, so the queen gets out the way. But now if I take, there's an attack to the pawn, so you're probably taking here. Can I go forward and just hit the knight there, actually? The knight moves, then bishop up to pressure this pawn. It's very committal, though. Once I've done it, there's no undoing it. Rook across, you're just going to take here. So there is a threat on the board as we are. Now again, I could push this pawn. I guess the knight's got a natural square. But I'm looking at pawn forward here. I like the look of this move. I don't know if it's good or bad. If you go back bishop here, maybe a move like rook across, then we can maybe think of taking. I'm going to do it. I don't know if it's a mistake. If it's a mistake, it's a mistake. But I'm going to charge this knight. No, there's still a threat on the board to take my pawn here. So it has gone back. Now if I go here, there is a potential here, so I can't take the pawn. But it's still a relatively forcing move to attack the pawn. A rook across is the natural reply. But then I don't have the option to grab a pawn without my bishop hanging. Rook across, if queen takes, 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 maybe rook forward. Feels like it's alright. My other option is to just take and allow pawn takes. I really want to play bishop up, but I can't then take here. But is that a big problem? I'm not sure it is. I'm going to do it. Again, I'm nearly 2 minutes down on the clock now, so I'm just trying to create some sort of pressure. If queen takes, and I can obviously just take the pawn with check first, then I've got the option to take back. Or we can try and find another move. So let's just let my opponent worry about their move and then worry about ours. Queen down might be a bit strong here as well, actually, mightn't it? I guess I've got to move like rook across, but this pawn could get a bit loose. Oh, the knight's gone back, okay. So now we don't have this option without sacking the bishop. So I'm just looking at a move like queen across. I've got rook across to try and force the issue. Rook across, queen takes, takes, pawn takes, and the pawn structure is all shattered. That's kind of what I'm aiming for. So I'm going to do it. It stops this. It might encourage this. Then all the pawns are all nicely split. And I assume we'd be able to just get that one back fairly quickly. I don't know, of course. Right, the queen's gone back. So now I guess rook across here, then I'm definitely threatening to take back if I want. Is there any other way to put pressure on here? I'm looking at a move like queen up so I can come across behind the bishop. Try and come here. Does it matter which square I'm on? I guess if I go to either of these, potentially a pawn could take attacking the queen. If I go here... Yeah, I'm going to go here with a view to coming across just to put pressure on this pawn. Always attack the rook. I'm going to come across and try and reinforce this. There's potential for a pawn, potential for queen across. He has got rook down, I guess. Actually, I might be underestimating this. That could be dangerous. Let's get out of the way and hit the pawn. But yeah, this could be a problem. I'm not sure I can actually defend that. So this game might be slipping away from me. It might be too low on time now. Right, the rook's gone across. I'm now bringing the queen back. I'm going to try and target this pawn. Not quite sure how. If I move this rook, this pawn is loose, but I guess it's a trade. Yeah, he's gone after this one, so maybe rook here now. Then you can maybe just go back. I'm going to guard for now. It's too dangerous to lose that one. I've got to give my king a bailout square as well. Well, if I go here, the queen can't come back. Oh, the knight's come up. Well, now I can pin the knight. Knight comes down. There's an actual hit to the pawn, isn't there? I'm not sure what to do here. I'm going to play queen up, but I've burnt far too much time on the clock here. I might have just allowed this as well, actually. Well, I guess I've got queen back, but I'm on the brink of losing this one. Yeah, I've gone too slow, so I've lost a pawn. Well, I guess I've got rook here. I'm going to do it. He might have a move like... Actually, no, he hasn't got queen there. I'm going to have to take... I'm going to have to try some sort of bailout here. I feel like I've gone wrong this game. I've got to play something like this. Oh, I've just forgot about that as well. Yeah, I've blundered this game. Oh, I've just blundered it. Blundered it, not to worry.